It's my dad's 60th birthday on the 3rd of March and the big party the day before, so I've flown up to Johannesburg for the occasion. Funnily enough, my dad was just in Cape Town for work, which is where I stay, so we've travelled back up together. I take after my mum's side of the family more, so I wonder what I've inherited from my dad, apart from sneezing in the morning. The sun is the symbol of the father in many ancient traditions. Its powerful energy courses through space to give us illuminating light. My father's always been a bit of a mystery to me, and now I'm going to interview him as he reaches this birthday milestone. It was Dad who named me Clea. He would see the name as he passed the bookshelf on the spine of the Lawrence Durrell novel. I don't think he's read it. He was always able to build and fix things, the neighborhood MacGyver, and whenever I wanted to understand how something worked, like a car engine or the world economy, he'd draw it on a serviette for me.
I have to go interview my dad now, and I'm a little bit nervous. It is not so easy turning the camera on yourself as I thought it would be. I'm scared I'm going to get a bit emotional. I have a headache, I have a stomach ache, but I suppose I just gotta go and do it because I've been putting it off, and the sun is setting and it is time to go do it now. So onto the roof we go.
Yeah. So, Dad, how does it feel to be turning 60?
Sure. Exciting.
Really?
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're quite chilled, so you don't get the excitement. I was gonna ask, what do you think you've learned over 60 years?
I've learned to not expect anything. Things always work out slightly differently from what one might have expected.
How do you keep going when you get those unexpected things happening?
Well, you've got to adapt. You just keep adapting.
Sorry, this edge is quite scary.
Yeah.
The last time I asked him this next question, he said, sporadically, do you believe in God?
Oh, it's a very difficult one. My head tells me no and my heart tells me no.
If it is just science, it kind of makes science kind of incredible.
Yeah, it makes science unbelievable, because I'm not a particularly genetically healthy sort of individual with sneezing and other things, and you would have thought I would have got wiped out long ago.
Mum once asked Dad what he was thinking about. He said, battery storage. She said, oh, I thought you were praying. He replied, it's the same thing. When do you do all of this thinking?
All the time. All the time. But it's not enough to keep the mind active. So
it's not enough to keep
No, so I play bridge to exercise the mind. Yeah.
Or to distract yourself from thinking about work.
Yeah.
Sure. In the last few years, Dad has become a self-described solar fanatic. He's trying to build a solar power plant. It's not the first grand plan he's envisaged, but it's the biggest dream yet.
For each square meter of space, when the sun's shining brightly, you get a kilowatt. And a kilowatt is the kind of energy you would use in a typical kettle. So there's a huge amount of energy. It's just inconceivable. The sun's basically a semi-controlled nuclear explosion.
Semi-controlled?
Well, it's semi-controlled in the sense that it stays coherent.
So when it finally does explode?
Well, it'll burn out rather than explode. Right. Although I think I forget the theory, but I think what it may do is it may, towards the end of its life, it might flare up.
Thank you.
Mm.
Cool.
I can see the sun setting on my...
Yeah, now we can watch the sunset, I guess.
Yeah.
Sure. My dad had to send 7 copies of 7 files to 7 committees, and he's waiting to hear if he just gets to bid to build a plant. Will he burn out or flare up in the last years of his career? How can one judge how much it will affect us? Him, me, the planet, in the grand scheme of things. Right now, he just wants to wash my dirty feet. What's behind the curtain? What do Dad and I see when we close our eyes?
It's always been my belief that people who come into contact with Claire at various stages of her life have seen in her something different. She has a world going on in her head that not many of us are aware of or can understand fully. And she has a wonderful ability to be able to picture things in her head in very clear and definitive ways.
So to you, Dad, I say, you're also a different sort of person. I think you have a world in your head that not many of us completely understand. I'm trying. Back to get from pride as well. You've had ups and downs in your career. And there comes a time in every daughter's life when she has to realize that her dad is merely human. But you showed me that there's a world you can invade when you close your eyes. And then you can do your best to make that world a reality. And I apply that to my filmmaking. So thank you.
I'm really excited about the future. Now, I don't know if that seems a bit odd. But I honestly believe that we're at a cusp in human history of another change of the way in which we interact with the world. And I'm really excited about being at that point. We're really at that point.